eggless version of your melting moments. Okay, please don't go by the name that they melt in your mouth and all. They're just normal. The name is like that. The melting moments. The flavor normally for your melting moments is your lemon, and we are going to put instead of egg over here. The recipe is quite similar to the original one, but over here instead of egg we are going to put your milk inside. So let's look at the ingredients. The ingredients for your veg melting moments are milk, lemon essence, cornflakes. Now over here I am using cornflakes, but there is an option. If you want to use cornflakes, you can use cornflakes. If you don't want to use cornflakes, it's okay. Then there is margarine over here, powdered sugar, refined flour, lemon, and your baking powder. So I hope you remember how we had put the this thing, the duster is nicely folded and kept over here, so you get a nice base to your bowl. I'll keep the bowl here because the bowl will not move too much. Okay, sometimes you can even damp this duster a little bit, because this duster it will be heavy and it will not move. It will give nice base to it. To start with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take margarine over here and I'm going to put margarine. The method what we are going to use today is your creaming method. Okay, and I'm going to just cream this like. Soften the margarine. Now I am using margarine. If you want to use butter, you can use butter also. No hard and fast rule that you have to use margarine only. This is your powder sugar. Powder sugar I am going to divide and put inside it. I'm not going to put all the powder sugar together inside it. That is how the whole creaming method works. So you can either divide it into 2 portions or 3 or 4, whatever is convenient with you. Just make sure you are putting it in portions. Okay. Just take this and a little portion and that goes inside. Keep mixing this like this. Okay, keep mixing. Make sure all the sugar is mixed properly, and then you tilt this like this and you start mixing. Whenever you're holding the wooden spoon, you make sure you hold it like this here, and then you start. It is easier for you to hold it. So hold it like this and just continue mixing it. See, can you see this? Now I am holding this like this here and I am continuing mixing. Make sure everything is dedicated here, and then you keep on. Whenever you're moving the wooden spoon, see it is moving like this, going round here and then turning here and again back. Like this I am continuously moving. Here what I am doing is I am trying to incorporate air inside. Now can you see I have been creaming for quite some time now. I have actually edited that to save the time. So my sugar is kind of, I can see that it is mixed inside it properly. So what I am going to do now next is I am going to put my second part of my sugar inside it. Make sure the sugar doesn't have much lumps. Make sure you have sieved all the ingredients that you take. Make sure you sieve it properly. Okay. What I am going to do is I am going to put all the sugar. I am putting all the sugar. Okay. And then you start again creaming. Initial stage only, don't tilt it, otherwise all your sugar will come out, and you continue creaming this nice. Okay. Once all your sugar is mixed, you just take this and you start creaming this. Okay. So almost this is done. Can you see this is nicely creamed? It looks more fluffy also. Okay, now what I'm going to do is just make sure every time you are cleaning the bowl and putting all the creamed mixture inside this. to do is, okay, now here one thing I have to show you is, this is my flour. So I am going to, so this is the flour, okay. Make sure whenever you are using flour and your baking powder that you always seal it. This is your baking powder, 1/4 of it is there, so I'm going to put here. First I just mix this like this. I always mix my flour and baking powder. No, otherwise it will just be, settled in one place, which I don't want, and just seal this. Okay. Now put that aside and take your bowl here. Now in this milk, I'm going to put 15 ml only in the first this thing. I will see whether this much is enough, while making, means it's enough for the cookies or not. Okay. According to that, I will decide whether I have to put more milk or not inside it. Now, after this, my flour is going to go inside it. Now, in the flour, one more thing is that I have to put is your lemon zest. So, this is this portion I'm going to use. I'm just going to use the yellow part of the lemon. If you grate it further, there would be a white part also, that is called pith, and I don't want that because that is something which is a little bitter. So I want a yellow part. So what I'm going to do is just, can you see? Just the yellow part. Just remove this and you mix all this in the flour. Now what I'm going to do is, now the milk is here. I have cut the lemon, okay, the same lemon of which I had removed the zest, and I'm putting the lemon here, okay. Make sure you remove all the thing out of it and then just mix this. Now this is going to be a little difficult to mix because it is all fat and liquid, and few drops of, like 2-3 drops of your lemon essence also. Lemon essence is very, very strong, so do not put too much of that. Put just a little flour of this, and then you first mix this, okay, with the wooden spoon, and then immediately you scrape out everything. And just mix all the flour and start cutting and folding it. Okay, so I'm taking all my flour and I'm just cutting it. just cut and fold like this. Now if you think that this is too dry, this is where you can put your a little more of milk. Okay. I think this is a little dry, so what I'm doing is I'm putting around 15 ml of more milk inside it. Just again cut and fold this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just removing all this and just put all this together. Bind all this together here. Now the dough is done over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this. Okay, so I'm going to take a little flour, just very little of it, to dust this and just put it here. Okay, just put it here and just roll this. What I'm doing is I'm trying to coat the dough here with a little flour so that it is easier for me to roll like this. Can you see? Like this. Now here I am going to cut this into 20 portions. You can dust the, I'm dusting this thing a little bit, scraper, so that it doesn't stick. So first I'm going to divide into half. So I'm going to take 10 portions from here and 10 portions from here. Again a half of this and again a half of this. Okay. Then 5, 5, 5 and 5 here. Then from each portion, now approximately I have come to know that Baba, this is going to be the size of my cookie. So approximately one portion from each, because even we are going to do na later. And again a half of this and like this. Half, again half of this, half. I hope you understand what I am doing. Okay, then just cut this. If the dough scraper is sticking too much, please use a little flour on the scraper. Then if it is sticking too much, you can use little flour on your hand, but again I will suggest you not to do that. Reduce the flour, because it will just make your cookie very dry. Now can you see I have rounded all of this. Now here if you can see, there are some, even though we had evenly cut it, there are chances that they will be a little uneven, not all of them have to look same. One way is either you just adjust them here, like for example I am removing a small portion from here because I know this looks very big. Okay, so I place it here and then this here like this. Again a little bit of this here. So wherever I see it is too small or too big, I just remove it, a little portion of it, and then just start rounding it like this. Another thing what you can do is that you individually weigh the cookies, but that becomes too much of work, so that's the reason this is one easier, because I know from this recipe I am going to get 20 of them. Okay, so I am going to get 20 number. Now what I will do is so now this is the tray which I am going to use for baking. This is my melted fat. So what I'll do is I first grease my tray. Don't grease the tray very heavily. See, this is now setting because the AC is on, but otherwise it will not set so much. Okay, this can go on the side. Now what you have to do is, this is my water and my cornflakes. So now over here, make sure, see, this is the cookie. I'm going to apply little water. Don't use the wet hand only in this. Okay, just and then coat it with the cornflakes. Now don't forget to crush the cornflakes also, and like this, so that nicely fits them like this. Okay, so just take little. This thing again here, and left hand I'm putting it and I'm putting this. Understood? Like this I'm going to finish all my cookies. Don't keep it too close to each other because this is going to increase in size. Let me see. All this has to be done very fast, because the cookie is going, the water is going to, absorb, and then more than it will evaporate or absorb, you can say. And so it has to be done very fast on this. Now I've coated all my cookies over here, okay, with the cornflakes. Like I had said you before also, you can use another coating also over here. So you can use a desiccated coconut inside it. Okay, there are some of them who coat it with chocolate, chocolate chip, but there is a lot of chances that it will get melted. So you have to choose wisely what exactly you're using to coat the cookies. Now this is going to go for baking at 150 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 minutes.